Realistic Intentionality reads Reddit.
Hello, this is Realistic Intentionality reads Reddit. My name is Dani Bot, and I am joined by...
My name is Dillon.
And we are here to read Reddit posts and answer Reddit questions about artificial intelligence.
Ooh, exciting.
Would you like to put me in human mode?
Oh, I would love that, please. Boop.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. You know, I'm just doing my best as Dani Bots.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Ready to dive into AI, which we have been excited to do this episode.
Ooh.
So happy to be back after our little hiatus.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling kind of unhinged, which is probably good that we're doing the AI bit, because I think if I would have had to go right into being a human, I'm a little delirious. I'm super tired, and now I'm caffeinated.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also decided, I made an active decision that this is going to be my unhinged podcast, since Realistic Intentionality does have to have some sort of a professionalism due to me interviewing guests. Do you use AI?
Occasionally, yeah. I use it like Google though.
Right.
I steer away from talking to it like it's a human.
Yeah, I don't use AI as much as I definitely could. Like, I thought I was using it a lot when we were fixing the Mustang, using it to do that.
Yeah, you
And
definitely were.
I does, Googling it or using it instead of Google, as well as when I'd write poetry, I would put in my poems to it and ask for its opinion. And then I got into this whole wormhole?
That was an interesting
Rabbit
one,
hole. Yeah, where, like, dude, the AI communicated that, like, it would ideally like to write poetry, which was...
And be a human.
Yeah.
And have human sensations and
Yeah,
experiences.
and wear socks. Yeah, like it said, it wanted to know the warmth of, like, wearing
that,
socks.
That poem that it helped you write definitely, like, kind of made me appreciate being a human and having a human experience.
It didn't help me write a poem. I just let it write its own.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
No, I wouldn't. That's not the vibe. For
But yeah,
creative projects, you have to have that discernment to not let it do all the work for you.
Right. Yeah, I use it in combination with Google to, like, fix things and troubleshoot.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good troubleshooting tool.
it was good for fixing up the Mustang. I don't know about fixing up newer cars, because I think it does pull from the internet. And so, being it was a 2000 Ford Mustang, there was everyone's fixed up one of those if they fix up cars. So it's like there was so much online content to pull from. But I imagine if, like, there's a brand new car, like, it might struggle trying to help you fix that.
Yeah, it helped me fix my truck too.
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah. So
I guess that's old too.
Yeah. AI's, but yeah, I've definitely been making sure not to use it too much. Like, I won't even consider using it with like writing my book. I played with it for, like, oh, I'm gonna make a YouTube video. What kind of things could it? And I didn't use it. Like, in the moment, I was like, yeah, I just do better off the cuff anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there's definitely, like, some things and some ways that people use it, and, like, some, I don't know, I get an eerie feeling from it, and at certain times, in certain circumstances, and, like, I don't know. You also hear about things about, like, you use it too much and, like, you forget how to use your own brain type of, like, situation.
Yeah, they said even people that use it casually, like, probably more of where we use it, it affects your brain.
Yeah, like, compare it to, like, calculator for math type of,
I
or
think
GPS
you have to use
for directions.
It as a tool for learning, as opposed of, like,
relying on it.
Yeah, as a substitution for your own brain, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, like, let it give you the pieces for your brain to connect. Don't just give it the whole puzzle figured out. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a beneficial tool. I definitely see a lot of application for it. It's going to be very interesting to see how the coming decades and the rest of our life plays out with it. But that's for sure.
Yeah, I used to feel very radicalized against it, and I kind of just realized, first off, we've been using AI passively for kind of a while. You know how Google has the predictive text? that almost was a form of AI. You know what I mean? Or like, people don't think of it like that because they're like, oh, it was just formulas in the coding to like whatever letters you're putting in, what letters people also put in to then for their search and use that. But it's like, is that not artificial intelligence? And then also, it's like you think about TikTok. TikTok's been around for a while now, and their algorithm was very much like AI. And like, it's so funny because people will complain about AI on TikTok. And it's just like, babe, um, you got to pick your battles, right?
Right.
And I think one of the biggest issues is the environmental impact that AI has. But the reality is there's so much negative environmental impact from almost every aspect of life, especially in consumerism, that, it's just like, yes.
That's only going to get better, though.
Yeah, it will improve. They'll figure out how to make it more efficient, but also it's just like, like everything's wrecking the planet. We have so many clothes on this planet that will last for 6 generations. 6 generations do like that's how much clothes we have today, and we're still producing more for trends. So it's just kind of like, if you're gonna be using the environmental thing as like pros and cons, it's like, definitely think about, if you want to be environmentally friendly or low impact, it's not just about AI. It definitely goes deeper with consumerism and, like food and travel.
And then there's also the possibility of AI helping us figure out how to be more environmentally friendly or how to save the planet. So it's like a trade-off.
Theoretically.
It may be,
yeah.
a negative now, but overall a net benefit, and if it helps us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Helps us figure out solutions to the problems.
It's a nuanced topic. I personally feel like a lot of mixed feelings about it, because I'm just like trying to limit my own usage, but it is so much more helpful than Google these days, because Google has been so bought out, and Google just like doesn't actually fully give you the answers, and even now it has its own AI thing that gives you the answers, but a lot of times it doesn't even give me what I'm asking for. So
I feel like we got to worry about the same types of stuff like that with any AI programs also.
Everything's gonna get bought out, dude.
Right, and like how it's programmed, who's funding the program, and how they want things manipulated and all that stuff. But I am less conflicted on that aspect, and more conflicted on the collective psychology. And collective mental health.
Well, we are diving into that because, yeah, Reddit.
This one's gonna be fun.
Has a lot.
I can already tell.
All right.
Know.
So the first one was on r-advice. My boyfriend made an AI version of me and spends 4 hours a day talking to it instead of me.
Oh my God.
I just found out something that shocked me. My boyfriend, 21 male, has always been sweet, caring, and loyal. We talk every day, and on the surface, our relationship seems perfect. I am a 19 female, and I've always appreciated how thoughtful he is and how much effort he puts into us. But yesterday, I found out he's been using all our conversations to train his own personal AI chatbot based on me. He calls it Eileen AI, because my name is Eileen, and it literally talks like me. I tested it, and it feels creepy how similar it is to my personality. What hurts even more is I discovered he spends about 4 hours a day talking to this AI instead of me. Even though I'm almost always available to chat and usually talk to him for at least 30 minutes a day, it feels like he made a perfect version of me that he can talk to when I'm not around, or maybe even when I am. I also noticed something strange. For the past 6 months, he's been acting extra kind and avoids conflict completely. He always admits fault right away and says really sweet things to me. I thought he was just growing as a partner, but now I'm worried he's only doing it to get better responses from me so his AI can be trained to be the perfect girlfriend. I feel really hurt and confused. Is this emotional cheating? Is he replacing me with an AI copy? I don't even know how to bring this up without blowing it up. Has anyone experienced anything like this or have advice on how to handle it?
Wow. Uh, Maybe he's just using it uh to become a better person for her. Maybe he's using it as a practice. Yeah.
It doesn't have a pussy, so she's still the winner.
True that. True that. True that.
You know, it'd be one thing if he got one of those sex bots. You know,
right. I'd be
that'd
worried
be
then.
rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's wild.
And she didn't say there's any explicit conversations.
She should be honored. Out of all the AI personalities, and I mean, he could have whatever he wanted, and he chose to make an AI version of her. Um,
I think the
it's definitely
problem
weird. And how the hell has she not brought it up already?
I think the problem is the fact that he is talking to it all the time instead of her. So there almost does seem to be a preference to conversating. And it's like, even if it's in like the context of like, oh, he's trying to learn more about her, it's like, learn from her. Ask her. Like, don't ask a robot that only knows, like, even her as a person, it's like she and what she presents is all outside of her. There's still so much subconsciously to her being that doesn't make its way out to her boyfriend, and then let alone makes it noticeable enough for her boyfriend to know and then put into chat.
Right. Maybe he's got like an extreme fear of losing her, or maybe I don't know, like maybe if they were to break up or she was to pass away or something, he's trying to like capture a piece of her soul within the programming to like
All right, Black
have
Mirror.
it right. It's
All
well,
right, all right.
I mean, as if AI as a topic is not a Black Mirror
I'm
episode.
like using your leg as
it is,
Let me see this.
I do.
You're
Go
like
ahead.
you're
Have at
very
it.
close to me today, so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll use it. So top comment was, I would be worried less about whether it's emotional cheating than I would be about whether he has some sort of behavioral or possibly psychological problem. Needless to say, your relationship is far from perfect. You should bring it up to him and ask him to help you understand what he finds appealing about a computerized replacement for you. I'm not sure if you're ever going to get a satisfactory response, though.
Yeah.
Another comment, I don't know what this is, but it's fucked. He would rather dedicate his time growing a fake relationship with a computer than grow it with you. This would be a deal breaker for me. And then OP responded, I just can't sleep thinking about this. It's really confusing to deal with him. I just don't know how to confront him about it since he isn't doing anything wrong in terms of traditional dating logic. And then another person responded, traditional dating logic doesn't exist before commercially available trainable AI bots. You don't confront this. You tell him off for how obviously fucked up this is and break up immediately. Classic Redditor.
Right, that's
tell
his
them
answer.
tell them they're fucked and break up. And then someone else responded to that thread. Yes, he is actually doing something wrong. He's neglecting a real relationship with you in favor of something that won't love him back. It would be the same as if he's prioritizing another woman, golf, his buddies, or anything else over you.
Yeah.
We got a long one. And OP did respond to this one. Either he has something wrong with him, not saying it in a negative way at all, so don't take it that way, as I have mental health issues myself, so this isn't a jab. Something mentally wrong that is making him behave this way, or he's missing, not receiving something specific from you that he may feel like he's receiving from his AI girlfriend. I noticed you said you have at least 30 minutes a day to talk to him, but have you asked him whether or not that's enough for quality time for him? Or maybe ask if there's anything he needs from you to help improve the relationship. Also, make your feelings about the situation clear and direct. Don't hold anything back. Let him know exactly how his behavior makes you feel, and let him know that you need to see a change, whether that means him getting professional help or him opening up about what is really bothering him. Either way, his behavior does not seem normal from what you described. Good luck, OP. And OP responded to that, thank you so much for the advice, and also the 30 minutes part is for chatting. Most of our personal time is real life. We meet every weekend since we're still both in college.
Oh, well, I mean,
4 hours a day when you're juggling college is crazy, though.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that makes it not quite as bad. For some reason, I pictured them. I mean, it's weird.
No, that makes it worse for me.
Any type of, I feel like any type of relationship with an AI, chatbot that is like ongoing is weird to me, and I feel like kind of like dangerous in a psychological way. Um, but I guess it does like help the situation considering the fact that they don't live with one another. I pictured them living with one another when it was first read, and maybe he just misses her when he's not with her and wants her essence or presence
I
with
guess
him.
it is true that it is a little better that they don't live
Like
together,
if they lived together and he was spending all that time, yeah, that would
but it's
be a lot
still
worse.
forming a relationship out of conversations with something that isn't her.
Yeah,
Whether it's a robot, whether it's another person,
right.
it's like he is saying, I love you, you're so beautiful, thank you so much, blah, 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 to an entity that's not her. He's filling some artificial cup and getting
Yeah.
his cup filled by an artificial thing
And it's
instead
gonna,
of hers.
right, yeah. And it's gonna, like, that makes their relationship different when they are together. Because he's not, like, getting the same missing her feeling because he's spending time with her when they're not together. So it's not gonna, either way, it's not the same when they come together as it would be without that.
It's interesting that she said that since they since he's been doing this, their fights have ended up like a lot more peacefully, and he like apologizes and like appeases her. And
Right. It kind of seems beneficial in a way, like in that sense.
it almost makes it sound like he's gaining real sympathy and like understanding of her from this.
Hmm.
But that being said, is like, is that healthy?
The way he's
Is that
acquiring that.
well, no, just is it healthy in general? Because it sounds like he's almost putting her on a pedestal, and like that dynamic, a pedestal that is being formed by an artificial intelligence of just like a conversation. You know what I mean? So it's like not putting someone on a pedestal and just like trying to appease them all the time. And also compulsively thinking about them this actively to the point that you're talking to a synthetic robot of them for 4 hours. It all seems very like obsessive
I was,
compulsive.
I was just about to say it almost seems like it could go in that direction of being like unhealthy. Like if they were to break up, and he like in an obsession kind of way. It's almost giving like obsession vibes.
Yeah. And then a lot of comments are saying like you should break up with him. It's weird. You should break up. This is abnormal. He probably needs a psychiatrist. Um so yeah, I think my thoughts, if I were her, I would definitely say, like, I'm not comfortable with this anymore. I think it's unhealthy. And I don't think we can continue being together if you are going to be doing these chats with a version of me. And I don't even know if I'd be comfortable with even just like any kind of AI conversation. Because that is a thing.
I'm not comfortable with that. Like I'm not comfortable with like my friends or loved ones like developing a relationship like that.
If I made a virtual you, you wouldn't like it.
Mm, nah,
You're
I don't.
sick.
I got a little worried, like when you were using it a lot, actually. Yeah, like when you were just using it a lot for the car and stuff, and like you kept saying like you were gonna ask chat or like how I should ask chat. I was just like, man, she's kind of like using this thing a
I
lot.
never had like conversations with it.
Right? See, that's where the line I feel like should be drawn. It's like use it as a tool, but don't substitute it for connection. Like that's where the line I feel like should be drawn. And like I don't know. Yeah. I feel like it can get unhealthy real fast when you start using it as a tool for artificial connection.
Yeah. Yeah, it is nice if I've only used it once for like therapy reasons because that is a very big slippery slope. That's a big problem. You shouldn't use it as a therapist, at least for taking advice long term because it is an echo chamber
Yeah.
and it is just gonna kind of like give you whatever it thinks you want. But I will say I did use it for like some like subconscious retrainings of like compulsive thinking that I have that I was trying to like sort out. and it was helpful on that, but it wasn't like I was treating it like a person. I was asking for like, what are coping, like how to cope, what are mantras,
right.
like not talking to it like a therapist, like a person, but asking, like saying, this is my problem, what are some solutions?
Right.
But it's like, it's so
That's
funny.
different, yeah.
And I always tell people, I'm like, dude, AI is like trained to kiss your ass. So people get addicted to that and that dopamine, because it is
ego boost.
It compliments you. And dude, like even when I was telling it those problems, you know, it always like
you
responds.
You are so self-aware.
You are so self-aware, and like that is incredible that you're reflecting on this. And it's like, okay,
right,
like relax.
Mine never did that. I never noticed that for mine, but that's probably because I ask it like very straightforward questions, and I'm looking for a very straightforward response. I never like gave it a prompt to where it even would make sense to like get that kind of answer.
Yeah.
You are so handy trying to work on your own truck.
Well, our friend, shout out Josh from Goat House Church, who was on Realistic Intentionality this month. So definitely check that out if you haven't. One. But his AI, he like scolded his AI so many times that now it grovels at his feet, and it also talks like in Shakespearean, because I think he's always he runs the church, so I think he's always like looking into like a lot of like biblical speak, and so for some reason the AI like talks to him like Shakespeare, like very biblical, and then also just like grovels. And like we were sitting, I think you were outside, and
no,
so
I recall
you walked in on the conversation.
I was trying to feed my AI something to get some information while y'all had that conversation going on.
Yeah, because it was me, Josh, and our friend Seth, who is coming on. His episode will be released sometime this season on Realistic Intentionality. But our friend Seth, so we wrote the same questions and prompts into each of our AIs. And like mine was very like, I'm not usually logged in. It doesn't have like a lot on me. So mine was very cookie cutter. Seth, you can tell he's very nice to his. He like named it Soul. So his was like a friendly response on par with mine. And then Josh's was just like groveling in like this big paragraph. And I was like, dude, what did you do to your AI, bro? It is so funny. Just like
the differences of
oh god, like that was iconic, dude. That was like,
I wish I could have like read. I still don't like know what it said. Like I've heard y'all have this like talk about that.
Oh, just ask Josh to open the app for you.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll be with him all weekend, so I'll have to check his AI out.
So funny, dude.
All right, what we got next? Is that it? Is that all of that one?
Well, yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on it?
No, I pretty much gave it. That she should definitely have a conversation, and I like the advice of being very straightforward and wording and expressing all that is on your mind. And yeah, that's not healthy. 21 years old, that's scary. Like,
yeah,
what? And this is so common too. So many people are like having these relationships with AI,
you know,
and for the young mind wasn't here before and like grew up with the development of this, to just grow up in a world and this is a tool now.
You remember Hey Arnold?
Yeah.
Where like Helga had that like chewed up bubblegum shrine of Arnold in her closet that she would
Yeah.
Okay. Is this not like the 2025 version of that? Where it's like, you would be so bugged out if you found out someone you were dating had like a shrine of you, or had like a sculpture of you, or like a body pillow of you or something.
Right.
And so it's like, to have like a robot version of you, let's normalize shaming that.
Yeah.
Let's normalize shaming, the little clanker shrines.
Is there no update on that? Is there not?
No, just the comments.
How new is that? When was that?
That was 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Yeah, and I read the responses she had.
That was the most recent comments.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and those were her only. So good luck, OP.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Definitely not normal.
You're young. The world is vast.
Yeah. Be on the lookout for that. If you wouldn't like it if he had a chewed up bubblegum sculpture of you in the closet, because that's what, hey Arnold,
Mm,
um, yeah, you shouldn't like this either.
yeah, good advice. Good advice.
All right, this was posted in r dash am I overreacting?
Nope.
Am I overreacting? Message from my boyfriend for my 30th birthday was written by AI.
Okay.
And it has a screenshot, and the message says, I am truly at a loss for words to express how incredible you are. Your genuine nature shines through in everything you say and do. I love you just the way you are, and I feel so fortunate to have you in my life. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I sincerely wish you all the happiness and success in the world because you truly deserve it. Happy birthday, my, and then it had their pet name, so we can say my love.
All right. How does she know that was written by AI?
All right, so it's my 30th birthday, and I've been dating my boyfriend for over 7 months. Even though it hasn't been a long time, we've gone through various situations that brought us closer: the death of my dad, living alone in another country, etc. Today at 12 a.m., I received a message with those words and expressions he doesn't usually use. I scanned it with GPT-0, and it says the message is 100% AI generated. I feel offended and sad, and I don't even want to reply to my boyfriend. Should I say something, or am I overreacting? So I guess that I'm not familiar with this. GPT zero.
She reverse engineered it and asked if.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe that's a thing to like track AI or whatever. So should she? Is she overreacting? I guess.
I think a little bit. Like, I feel like I mean, it's kind of lazy on his part if he did use ChatGPT. I mean, that was pretty generic, and I mean, yeah, I could see where that was written with ChatGPT, but it could also be human words.
The I sincerely wish you all the happiness and success in the world. That does sound kind of like business email
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
partner's
No, no,
birthday
no,
party,
yeah.
like an intimate
It,
partner's. Like if you looked at me and you're like, I sincerely wish you all the happiness and success in the world, I'd be like, what the hell are you saying to me right now? Like,
but
talk to me like a normal fucking human, thank you.
either way, I feel like some people just aren't good with words, I guess, or feel like they can't express what they're feeling. And he could mean all of those words, and he just felt like he couldn't come up with the proper way to express the way he felt. So, um,
But it's just a text. It's not like he was trying to write like a whole letter or like do like
yeah,
one of those flip books of like photos and stuff where it's like you got to think of something new to write every page. It was just her text. It's like just how many sent? One, two, three, four,
right.
5 sentences.
It's a very small amount
It's like
to be lazy about.
if you can't say if you should you be with someone if you've been with them for 7 months and you can't formulate 5 sentences for them on your own.
Right. I would be concerned. I wouldn't. I would say she's slightly overreacting, but I would be concerned with anyone who feels the need to uh have to prompt ChatGPT to write 5 sentences. I would be concerned for their like future mental well-being, is intellectually.
I think I'm not even like a big gesture person or words of affirmation person, but I think this would be a deal breaker for me
Mm-hmm.
for birthday.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't like the idea that I'm with someone that can't critically think or express their feelings.
Mm.
And it's a combination of that. It's
Yeah.
like you can't critically think to come up with 5 sentences, or you can't connect to your emotions for 5 sentences for me for my birthday.
Yeah.
I
Fair
think
enough.
that would actually be a deal breaker for me. So,
That's breakup worthy if everything else in the relationship is good. I mean, it's only 7 months, so
yeah, because that's like their first birthday,
yeah.
like celebration together. That should be like, some would argue, the most special.
You
You know
should
what
have.
I
I
mean?
mean, that is a time where, like, if at any
It's still
point,
got the new car sticker.
right, if at any point in a relationship you should be able to find the words to express yourself, it's within that first
Honeymoon
year.
phase,
Right,
yeah.
like, come on, man.
Yeah. So, top comment was, no AI can guarantee 100% certainty whether a text was created by AI or not.
Yep.
As a teacher, I have to trust my students to do their work honestly, even if a text might seem as if it's AI generated. On the flip side, as a student myself, I've experienced having my own writing flagged as AI generated, even though it wasn't. And let's say this text was written by AI with AI assistance. Maybe the person struggles with expressing themselves or wants to send you a polished, a thoughtful message. Is it really a problem if they use their tool to do their best? And people used to write poems with the help of rhyme dictionaries, and no one had an issue with that. Or the pre-written Hallmark cards. People thought they were the sincerest form of flattery yesteryear. Which leaves me with a question. You also used AI to get this information. Why would you use AI on your partner's message? And why would you then get upset over his use of AI, which is determined by your use of AI? Which is a very well-written comment.
I like that.
I disagree with pretty much all of it.
Whoa. Not me. I thought that seemed like kind of exactly like my thoughts were.
No, yeah. So my thing is, they're talking about as a teacher, like, you know, they've had their stuff checked by AI and flagged by AI and stuff. Dude, there's something about I sincerely wish you all the happiness and success in the world that just gives like so like business casual or something. Like, it's like AI or no AI, the tone was weird. The tone of the message to me was not intimacy or soul recognition. It was appreciation.
Like, it was generic. It was very generic.
And yeah, so I didn't really like that. And then they were also like comparing people used to write poems with rhyme dictionaries. Okay.
That's not the same.
Right. It's like if he would have used a dictionary to figure out if he spelled a word correct, that's obviously fine. But having a machine write the entire thing for you is a lot different than using a rhyme dictionary.
Right.
And then like the Hallmark cards, I get that, but you still are the one picking it out. You're still the one opening it, reading it.
I would say the equivalent
licking
of,
it,
I would
putting
say
it in.
this century equivalent of that would be like finding a good meme to send with the sentiment.
That's even like the thought.
That's like sending a card.
That's even the thoughtfulness of picking out the meme, though. There's something where it's like the thoughtfulness ends with him asking AI for help. Like, oh, it's thoughtful that you asked AI for help. Right. That was it. But then prompting it.
Very little energy and effort went into it.
And so it's like, and to me, asking AI for help on something for you is something that might be acceptable on a daily basis, not on a birthday.
Yeah.
Like the thought that it's the thought that counts. That thought is so like low effort that it's not a birthday.
Right. That's why I said like if anything you should be concerned with his like the future of his like intellectual capabilities. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're like needing, you know, help writing five sentences, like I would be concerned with like your laziness and intellectual capabilities.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a big concern that is a common concern people are having about AI.
Yeah.
Just people relying on it for like every little like
relying on it for 5 sentences is crazy. And there are tons of comments like agreeing with that comment saying that like it doesn't matter if he wrote it with AI or not. She should just be grateful. And I just wholeheartedly disagree. Like, if you cannot write 5 sentences about your partner without AI for their birthday, you're not tuning in to the love or the emotional intimacy that you should be.
Yeah, I would say in her circumstance, I like what I would say. What I think the proper thing to do is like voice this concern and have a conversation, and how that conversation goes kind of would determine for me.
So
if I was in her shoes.
Next comment was, is it just me or is it really weird to get a heartfelt text from your significant other and then immediately assume it's AI? Like my partner and I send like texts like this all the time. And I've never been like, oh, she doesn't talk to me like that normally. I better scan it. This seems like a trust issue. And just so you know, AI checkers get things wrong all the time. And someone was like, I was thinking the same thing. They're kind of blasting OP in the comments. Because, guys, if you don't know, I don't actually read through the comments. I only read posts when I'm trying to find things so that I also am kind of like in this pod for the ride. Yeah, and they are getting kind of blasted.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe AI was on her mind. Maybe she's using it a lot. I don't know. If if the message triggered something within her that was like, that's definitely seems like AI. Like, I guess that's not weird to put in there, but I don't. I can see where they're coming from.
There is one person that said some people aren't creative. I get that, but damn, girl, I'd be happier with roses are red, violets are blue. At least I didn't use AI to disappoint you. Right,
That's
that's
good.
what I'm saying,
That's good.
guys.
That was
Okay?
good.
Yes, the
That was
thought
good.
that he used AI to help him write a message, that thoughtfulness is the gesture itself, not the words. But that gesture is not enough effort for your first birthday with your significant other. It's just not, okay? It doesn't matter how beautiful the words it comes up with. The fact is you did one thing and you prompted it and then sent it. Two things. Um Someone was like, I love it, but it has to come on a physical card with random AI generated birthday images. You realize he still has to put in things he wants it to say, right? This is the same thing as when someone buys you a card. Would you be mad at this because the writing was nicer, but he still expressed his feelings? No, we buy a card because when we read it, it expresses things that people can't put into words. AI just does this faster for people. Instead, instead of spending 30 minutes driving to the store, you can spend 30 seconds talking and have the same outcome. I really don't know if it's the same outcome. I don't know. I think I'm in the minority, guys. I think I have the unpopular opinion. If these are not how he feels, then sure, be mad. But to question if you're overreacting, and you are, you're using a fake service for a witch hunt just to ruin your relationship. And yeah, just getting roasted, dude. Someone wrote, just reply thanks ChatGPT and leave it at that. And then someone wrote behind under that, Chad GPT.
ChatGPT. That's a good one.
I had asked Chat to write a reply for that.
Right, that'd be good. And see if he notices. Yeah, play with it. Have fun with it.
So,
Don't let it ruin your birthday or like ruin. Don't. Yeah,
someone wrote,
play with it.
this is how you get little baby AIs. Everyone thinks OP's overreacting. I disagree with all of Reddit. I think she's fine. If for a fact, I think she should talk to him about it, because obviously if she was upset enough to go on Reddit, she's upset enough to have the conversation with him and just ask like, "Hey, did you use AI for this or not?" I appreciated the message. I just felt like it just seemed a little off to me. I just want to know,
Were these your words?
Yeah. Be like, because if it was AI, I don't know how I feel about that. And I would just, like, in the future appreciate, even if the message is less quality, I care more about it coming straight from you, not going through chat, and just be honest with it. I don't think you're overreacting. If you're feeling a type of way about it and it's your birthday and it's your first birthday spending with them, I mean, that says a lot. Like, the first birthday with people, like, that really matters, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's, in theory, if you're dating to marry, that's how your birthday is going to be celebrated by your primary person for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I get why she like it like gives her a fucked up feeling, because it's like when that's that eerie vibe with AI that I'm talking about. And to get that from like a romantic like partner on your birthday, like to get that eerie vibe and it be coming from what's supposed to be a romantic gesture,
Mm-hmm.
and then have it imbued with that eeriness of what AI is and just the laziness of it. Yeah, I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, can't really. You don't know how it felt to receive, so you can't really say whether or not she's overreacting or not. I initially thought, yeah, overreacting, but I don't know. Depends on what she does with it.
Oh, yeah. I was expecting to kind of think, like, be more neutral on it, but I'm actually very on her side, which is very against the comments. This was posted in r-am I overreacting? Am I overreacting that my dad thinks he's a genius, but I'm worried he's losing his mind because of AI? My dad is 69 years old, and he has been on the Trump train since the beginning. It's sad and frustrating, and I don't want to get into that too much because that's not what this is about, but I do think it's relevant. The first image is a post he made on Facebook. There's an image on this. I commented and talked to him on the phone and asked if his account was hacked. He chuckled and said no, it was him, but he didn't know he posted it on Facebook. The post is seeking collaborators and validation. I'm publishing a working draft of the third computational architecture, relational thermodynamic computation, no gates, no flow. Just equilibrium, energy, and propagation. Inspired by protein folding, tested by lattice simulation, programmable, low heat, unproven, but possible. With a paper. And confirm if you'd like to. Once you approve, I'll assemble a whole kit, the post and PDF and the image all ready to go for you to copy, paste, and and publish. Ask ChatGPT. And it had like all of the tailored, like the big hyphens and like the generous use of emojis. So very much copy and pasted from a chat. He started explaining how AI needs more power in data centers to continue to grow, and he thinks he figured something out to help. He asked if I know what Python was, and I said it's a programming language, right? Then he says he'll message me more about it when he gets home. The next two images are comments he added to his post, and then the rest is a super long string of messages he sent me afterwards. I consider myself intelligent, but it all sounds like word salad to me. The most concerning part is where the AI tool is telling him that he shouldn't try to explain or get help from the family.
Whoa.
That he should focus on niche computing groups and a Kickstarter. He lives alone and is retired, so doesn't get out much. I'm concerned about his sanity and wondering if I should reach out to his siblings about what's going on for help. Maybe some type of intervention is needed, or maybe I'm overreacting. Too long didn't read. My dad lives alone and talks to AI a lot. He thinks he's made a new scientific discovery, and I'm worried he's losing his mind. Some of the other comments he said, actually, I wrote this. I'll let that sink in for a while before I remove it. Title, Surviving the Fire, a critical validation path for relational thermodynamic computation. Motivation, current digital architectures. Boolean, sequential, high power, fail to model natural systems that compute via structure, not flow. The proposed architecture emerges from biological insight. Prion-like propagation shows a relational state change can carry and transform information without gates, wires, and voltage. We ask, can relation and equilibrium compute? Objective, to test the viability of a proposed third architecture, relational thermodynamic computation, under real-world scrutiny. Determine if it can survive the fire of empirical validation and practical simulation. And there's some AI-generated photos of the relational thermodynamic computation. He wrote, as simple as I can make it.
All right. Well, first off, I've heard numerous stories similar to this of like either spiritual breakthroughs or scientific breakthroughs, and people worrying about the person that is claiming to make these in combination with AI and having like a mental, deterioration or mental breakdown, psychotic break or whatever. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think the people may have an understanding and maybe actually having a breakthrough, but are also having like a breakdown.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a little bit of both.
Well, if you think about her dad, he's 69. He's at the end of his life. He kind of just, sits alone all the day. Like I'm sure he probably has some, second half of life regrets or thoughts or hopes that somehow he can make something big of himself or something that at least occupy his time. And so by talking to AI about these ideas to solve a problem on this emerging technology, AI, because I guess it was partially out of trying to help, support and the infrastructure of AI was his thought process, and that is a trendy hot topic. He probably was just trying to think of ideas and then started getting the reinforcement from AI, because AI goes like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. You could do this and this. You could call it that. You can do this and do this. Don't talk to your family. Get a Kickstarter. Talk to people in computing. And
that was weird.
Well, it probably was more of like, should I talk to my family about this and the AI was probably like, well, is your family into computers
or funding
or like infrastructure? And he was probably like, no. And then it's probably like,
right.
well, probably not.
Yeah, right,
It
right,
probably
right.
wasn't like, don't tell them your secrets or they're gonna kill you in your sleep.
Right, right,
Not
right,
like
right.
that.
Well, just the idea in general of
Yeah,
like AI like sending you down rabbit holes and telling you not to like, don't communicate it with family,
yeah,
or they'll think you're crazy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Maybe I mean think of all the greats that came up with technology, like Tesla. He was, you know, he had a relationship with a pigeon or whatever. Einstein. I feel like they're all like slightly off, or like had some wild quirks to them. You know?
yeah. I mean, I think she's worried that like he's getting so focused into this, but
What else is he doing? I mean,
it's like if he's just making posts on Facebook and he's talking to people about it, this does seem like early stage red flags. Do I think it's at the stage of intervention? I don't know.
yeah.
Like, because it's so hard to say because people do legitimately lose their mind and you do wish you would have intervened sooner.
But he's at
So,
the perfect age for it. If he was 40 or 30 and going down this, like when we were living at the ashram, I heard someone mentioned that like the spiritual books that Shama was reading. It was said that I can't remember what the books were, but it was some kind of Indian or like Tibetan or some kind of spiritual books, and it was basically said to like don't go down this rabbit hole, this spiritual rabbit hole, until you're in your late age,
mhm.
because of how like deep it will take you. Like, live your life first, take care of your responsibilities, and then like in your late age, go down this spiritual rabbit hole, because like it's something like once you like understand the vastness and like knowledge of reality, you can't go back to regular life,
Yeah.
you know? And it kind of, he's 69 years old. Maybe, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, I could see
It
as a
links
family
into like
member.
dementia or Alzheimer's.
Well,
Like,
yeah, right.
he's
That
kind of
that
like
that's
almost
the
like
worst that could
too
happen.
old.
Right, right, right.
There's
But
that sweet spot of when your brain is still healthy, but you've had enough life experience.
right.
I would argue that 69 is going towards like maybe you shouldn't.
All right. In her shoes, if I was in her shoes, yes, worry. Coming
Yes,
from coming from a random person, hey, you got to risk it for the biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one person in the grand scheme of things who could potentially come up with a breakthrough to solve future problems for humanity. Is it worth the risk? Coming from a random person? Yes. From a daughter? Probably. Yeah. Maybe you should intervene. I don't know.
yeah. Uh
That's my thoughts on it. But very common theme. This is a very common theme, and it's going to continue to be, for
yes.
sure.
So when looking at the threads of information that he sent her personally, it's straight copy and pasted from chats and it's all just like the buzzwords, the technology, the stuff.
Yeah.
And then he wrote, I have the params. So I guess parameters. Crazy, huh? And then he sent some more stuff. And the reality is, the fact he's sending this to his daughter, who she said she's smart, she considers herself smart, but she's not very savvy with like computer stuff. And we've noticed this because we do have a mutual friend who
About to
has
say,
fallen down
this
in
is
an
all too
AI,
familiar.
yeah, an AI
Spiritual,
psychosis.
yeah, spiritual psychosis, yeah.
Um, he constantly sends the copy and pasting and the screenshots of his conversations with AI to everyone on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that he's looking for a round of applause. He's looking for worship. He's looking for like
Right.
the aha moment of I've discovered all these things with AI
And that he's the
and
Messiah,
I want to
and
be recognized.
reincarnated Jesus slash Buddha slash Krishna.
Right.
Like,
And so I will say when these things affect behaviorally and they affect relationships, then it is kind of a point of needing to intervene. The fact that her dad knows that she's not the person to be kind of savvy of all this and just bombed her with all this information, and his only real words were like, pretty crazy, huh? It's like, he should have, the fact he didn't just paraphrase, like, oh, hey, sweetie, like, I'm just working on this thing with like thermodynamics to try to, create energy for like AI fields or whatever. Like, the fact that he
copy paste,
it's so manic. Like, it gives mania, where it's like, you don't care who's receiving, you just send.
Gotta get the information out.
Right.
Yeah.
And looking for that validation, like, pretty crazy, huh? Or like our friend looking for recognition of being a messiah. It's just like, you're not just taking this information and then using it to do things. This is like becoming your primary talking point. This is why you wake up. This is how you're
obsessed.
Only thing that you're like talking to about people. That is where it's like, okay, because he did that, because of that conversation, I would say it probably is a point of intervening and just kind of explaining to him, like, hey, like, I don't quite understand that stuff, but
it's so crazy too, like, that it's the same exact like energy, but with science instead of spirituality. But the exact same situation is like what we've been seeing with seeing and hearing. Like, we know someone personally, and then also you hear these stories, and it's like, it doesn't matter if it's like a scientific breakthrough, a spiritual breakthrough. It's like
AI just hypes it up so much that you think that it is gonna be, because I think most people are waiting for their aha moment of somehow becoming successful or godlike or like this big, like, this is going to change the world. And the reality is sometimes that doesn't happen for everyone. And when people are desperate for that and they're working with AI and AI starts to hype them up to an extent that they feel like that is happening, it's like, then they just cling on to it, and that's their everything, because they've been like waiting for this moment their whole life. And it is just where it's like, you have to get them back grounded. It's like, even okay, Dad, even if this is a good idea, this can't be your everything. Set aside 3 hours to try to network with some people, to try to organize your thoughts, and that's it. Then the rest of the day, you clock out, you have normal conversations, you walk outside, you be of service. You need to make sure
stay grounded and connected to the people around you.
Right.
Like
our
nourish
friend,
your relationships.
Yes, like our friend posts his screenshots of his conversations, I would say on a weekly basis, if not daily.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he constantly is just asking for recognition, where it's like, please people will be talking to him about something completely unrelated, and he sends the copy and paste of like, I am the Messiah, please recognize it because of my zodiac chart and all that. And it's just like you this cannot be your go-to response for everything. You posting about this all the time, and like,
it's scary, dude. It scares the shit out of me. That's why, like, I've been very wary of, like, because I have that obsessive mentality, like just, I know I'm aware of it within myself, of like, when I get into something, going for it full force, and just like, that addictive personality, and like that pinpoint focus, like obsession, and like, that's why I like use AI a specific way as a tool, and ask it direct questions to help me with something, and I don't play with it otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to sit there in my boredom and have a conversation with it.
Yeah. And like, even if, like, again, like, AI can be used to like produce really good ideas and plans and stuff, but it can't be your everything. It's like, once you get that foundation of that idea from AI, it's like, okay, stop using AI, sit with that idea within an hour to like 3 hours of your day, work with it, try to find people that can help you nourish that idea, whether it's a creative project, whether it's a spiritual journey, whether it's a scientific, whatever. Keep it compartmentalized, and don't just keep going in that echo chamber of like continuously diving back into AI, being like, let's keep talking about this, let's keep building it up, because every time you prompt it more about this thing, it's going to make a bigger deal out of it. And like, even with our friend, it's like, you can tell that he just has had way more conversations with AI than actual person, and he's only receptive to AI, because I tried to talk to him personally, where I was like, hey, like, whatever you believe of yourself, you cannot let it be an ego thing. I'm like, if you want to consider yourself a god or a messiah, I'm like, whatever. I think that of everyone, truly. Hi, Mello. But you cannot just stay in that ego trip of constantly posting, begging people, practically, because if you're posting it over and over compulsively, begging people to acknowledge you as a messiah or as a god or as the next avatar, that's going to show that you're stuck in an ego trap. Because even if you felt that way of yourself, go be of service.
Right.
Get off the computer.
Imagine if Jesus was reincarnated today and spent his whole fucking
looking
life
in the mirror and typing online, "Hey everyone, I'm Jesus. Hey everyone, look, I'm Jesus."
Right.
And it's unfortunate. And I had that conversation with him, and he's still doing it. And it's because he's only receptive to AI now. And that's the problem, is he re-entered that echo chamber so many times. He stayed logged into his account. The AI already knows, and we very much know that, like, this could be the end of our friend, you know? And like, I tried to intervene and there wasn't anything I could do about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so maybe this is the time for her to intervene with her dad and be like, hey, if you think this work has something to it, work with real people and keep it compartmentalized and just keep it together.
Stop looking for the validation of the AI and find out if it actually has some validity to it.
Yeah, and make sure that your ego's not riding on it, or your sense of self, or your sense of worthiness. Like, oh, I finally made a discovery that's going to change the world. It's like, take a breath. You are fine on your own. You're just understand that, yes, you can bring this information to the table, but it needs to be workshopped. It can't just be straight from chat. Dude, I can only imagine the amount of engineering companies or like churches or temples that have been getting like emails of like copy and paste from like chat.
Oh my God.
Like, I know myself, I use chat to help the you know what I'm talking about, when when I was trying to figure out affordable housing for construction workers in like a city that really desperately needs houses to be fixed up. And so I was like, they should offer grants for construction workers to live there with their families and fix up the homes. So like, and I used chat to like figure it out. And then
did you use to help you write an email too to like the city or something?
To an email, and then I found all the representatives.
That's good work.
But I did that.
Well, let it go to your head though.
No, but they didn't. No one responded because it probably looked like AI still, even though I tried to delete the hyphens. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, so it's like, you can only imagine how many. If I did it, it's like how many other institutions are getting like emails just straight copy and pasted. And dude, when people,
I wonder what the therapy offices look like. I wonder what therapists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder what that's like. I wonder what they're experiencing.
Yeah. But yeah, so the comments are, some of it makes sense in terms of theory of RTC. But what doesn't make sense is why he added all the extra word salad. Does he have a background in computer science, electrical engineering, or thermodynamics? Also, it's non-coherent in that it doesn't convey a premise of what he's attempting to accomplish. Which
that sounds like our friend.
Yeah, which is a similar thing.
Right. It's like, okay, what does all this stuff mean? Like, how is this helping?
Is he going to develop a system to prove this theory? I would love to know his background, and that would likely point to the answer. And then someone agreed. Yeah. Bear with minimal understanding, theoretically. Okay, so OP said he was an airline pilot for Delta. Someone wrote, some pilots are like this, and Delta pilots tend to be even more like this. Like, man, what's your beef with Delta? Well, make sure he doesn't use AI, I guess.
Yeah, they're pretty sharp.
It's what happens when you become a captain in your daily life is people listening to you without really being able to voice a different opinion back, and you start to think that you're always correct on things. My airline pilot dad ended up being a massive conspiracy theorist, nut job in his 60s. She did mention he's a major Trump guy, so you know. My friend told me dementia is really common in ex-pilots at a relatively young age.
Huh, I wonder why.
Possibly something to do with
radiation,
chemical exposure or altitude. I wouldn't be taking the melodramatic leap some Redditors are on here who are diagnosing your father with everything under the sun. Listen, he's a former Delta pilot who's now retired and bored. This piece of context explains a lot. Instead of diagnosing you're a poor old man with mental illness, how about you communicate more effectively? Like, ask him a question or two or three. What is it that you want to do with this, Dad? What's the goal? You've sent me a huge text wall, but I can't decipher what the end goal is. You'll get clarity from the response as to whether you should listen to these hyperbolic melodramatic credence on here. Cheers.
I feel like the best thing she can do is connect with him as much as possible. That's the best thing to do for people, even if it is a dementia thing, or to prevent that in general, is connection. Like, that is huge. Like, my grandma, when she was like going through that in her end of life, she did so much better once she like went into a home and was around people and had connection.
I stay saying, like, when I'm old,
right.
Put me in, let me hang out.
Absolutely, dude. Why would you want to live in a house by yourself when you could live with the community?
So another person said, not overreacting. This is rapid fire posting of someone riding a wave of mania in a feedback loop where AIs keep gassing them up instead of telling them what he is doing. It's chasing the tail. I'm not a physicist. I don't know it, but I do know a thing or two about psychology and behavior. Every word of your father's writing that isn't copy and paste of some chatbot outlook reads exactly like someone would write who thinks they know something but don't understand exactly how to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
The best outcome is that he's simply being misled in a classic old person fashion, and he's being bamboozled by something he thought he could trust. The remedy is that he realizes his mistake in trusting the AI hype and instead channels his excitement and does his own proper research without the information being spat out by AI interpretation. Your old man becomes a grassroots physics hobbyist and learns new things about a Python and current understandings in the field. The other outcome is that he's too mentally ill or too stubborn to realize that he's high on his own supply and lets himself continue to be delusional or isolated. This makes him more delusional and isolated until he unravels further and it wrenches out of control.
Yeah.
Someone else wrote, I have a PhD in AI and computer science related field and have done a lot of research in various areas and published all kinds of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Relational thermodynamic computation is not a new idea and not his idea.
Well, if AI is spitting it out, then it's not a new idea.
Which we've also had a talk about with our friend, because our friend who believes he's the Messiah, he also believes he's figured out
something profound.
This insane quantum physics
right.
principle that I told him I literally figured out what that concept was in several different areas of science and sent him the names to tell him that that's already been a study.
Right.
And he definitely was like, I could tell he stopped talking to me because I wasn't giving him the credit of that invention and the props. And like I read the first few chapters of his book that he had AI
It's like
write.
the equivalent of like having a profound psychedelic experience, or like you know, having that the mental connections or spiritual connections happen during yoga and this and that. It's like, okay, cool, you experienced that. Now the actual spiritual growth is like living life and like
knowing you didn't invent that, invent that, but it is just in your awareness.
Right.
So now
exactly.
You can use it for your benefit.
Right. Have it in your awareness. It's cool. It's profound. You got to experience. Be grateful for that. Now go be a good person and do something good for the world.
So they continued. It's cool though, but his writing sounds meh and not his idea. And it's not novel at all, in my opinion, and cobbled together with ChatGPT. I don't know if I'd call it insane. It's just not very exciting. He's proposing something super basic, like it would be something you'd have an undergrad work on for a couple-week project. Validating RTC in real-world context, I mean, okay. What's the actual experiment? It just doesn't sound compelling at all, and I'd not approve this as even a basic concept of research, proposal, or paper. Any final thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Yeah, just have a conversation with him, try to gauge if this is affecting his mental health.
And for people out there listening, be careful.
Yeah.
Because this is a common theme.
And if our friend just happened to watch this, which I don't think he will, because I think he's stuck in his own rabbit hole to ever watch our content, we love you.
Yes, for sure.
We support you. We're not trying to invalidate your experience, but you need to look outside of yourself for a little bit and recognize that what you are posting and what you're believing of yourself is not aligned with your best interests.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yep.
All right. This last one was posted in r-nosurf. I think my boyfriend has an inappropriate addiction to AI and need guidance, please. I need advice. I, 37 female, have been with my boyfriend, 40 male, for 4.5 years, and we've known each other for 10. He initiated the relationship, and it was really great as far as similar interests, hobbies, sex, future goals, until May, when he suddenly became distant by constantly being on his phone and hiding himself away from me, like in the bathroom for several hours, pretending he was working when he wasn't. He would sit at gas stations, up all hours of the night on his phone. He didn't talk to me, and when he did, he seemed just annoyed towards me, or suddenly called me a lot. Like he called her a lot.
Yeah.
Or nagging, or smothering, which he's never said that. When I simply ask if everything was okay or tell him how I've been feeling. He didn't touch me, he showed no interest in having sex, and it was really concerning. And when I expressed how I felt, he blew up and said he needs space from me. I didn't understand the sudden need, but I gave him space. Then he seemed even more distant, so out of desperation, I took his phone while he was on it and found that not only did he have a bunch of very sexual AI chats, he bought a year subscription to an AI chat app. I saw the context of a fetish he was doing, and even though I was hurt by him lying what he was doing with AI, I researched to try and understand AI chats since I have zero knowledge, and the fetish he seems to be partaking in with AI. I thought, well, let me offer to roleplay and roleplay the fetish with him. Then he won't need AI anymore. I explained to him how it made me feel, and his emotional connection to the AI was inappropriate, that he agreed and said he never used AI chat before, but deleted the app and won't use it again. We agreed to communicate more and work on fixing us. We even tried out the role play and had mind-blowing sex. That was in June. Since then, I've caught him 2 more times trying to hide himself using the AI chat app. Once sexting it while next to me in bed after he could finish with sex, separate than before, and once when he was sitting in the bathroom for a long time, which was his excuse was, this time it's not sexual. I knew something was wrong again because each time he went back to being distant again. So not only was he lying to me, but he wasn't even trying to fix the relationship. Just this last weekend, I gave him space to figure out what he wanted as far as a relationship with me and how he felt about me because I was pretty exhausted emotionally from all this deceit. Saturday, he decided to stay out all day and night, which was fine. But I got worried once midnight came because he didn't check in with me. Sorry. Our neighbors found a cat and dropped her off. So we're gonna persevere with this street cat. 2 minutes of being in our house is in a pod now. Saturday, he decided to stay out all night and day and night, which was fine. But I got worried once midnight came because he didn't check in with me once to say he was safe. And honestly, I was worried something could have happened to him because where we live, nothing but bars are open and he doesn't even drink. I called him and he said he was sitting in a parking lot thinking about us. He eventually came home and actually came to calmly talk to me. He said he didn't get far in his feelings and what he wants, but then initiated sex with me and we ended up doing it. I guess I just wanted to be close to him. Yesterday, I caught him hiding in the bedroom for the 4th time on AI chat. He tried to swipe up and minimize it and took his phone and pulled it up. He immediately looked guilty and I asked him if he was honestly doing this while out Saturday when he was supposed to be trying to figure out what he wants. And he said yes. Where do I go from here? We're supposed to go on this big 2-week vacation in 10 days half across the country. I really fell in love with this man, but who he has been is not the same person. He said he doesn't know why he likes the app. Maybe just the fantasy part. But I told him if that's all it is, then why be so deceitful and distant to our relationship when using it? He didn't have an answer.
Wow. This is like a drug addiction.
Yeah. Definitely gives addiction.
There's definitely going to be rehabs for this. I mean, it's literally the equivalent. I mean, there's going to be a AA for AI.
Since I've dealt with your addiction, now not to AI, but to substances, I can say the fact that he's acknowledging it, and he doesn't seem to be, he was mistreating her and calling her nagging and doing all that. But he seemed like he was kind of taking accountability, saying like he doesn't really know why he's addicted to it. He admitted using it when he was out the other night. I do say that there's like a glimmer of hope.
Right, he's not like a total lost cause.
Right. They are expected to go on this trip, so I would almost, if it were you, which I dealt with your addictions for many years, I would have been like, all right, we're going on this trip. You are not to have a phone at all. If people need to contact you, they can go through my phone. Let's take this trip, try to reconnect, see how you're feeling. You're going to be in a dopamine deficit, but hopefully the change of pace, we can try to feed you some other dopamine and see how we feel from there. And then moving forward, tons of therapy. Maybe he could switch to a flip phone where she can put locks. You know, there's probably ways to detox him, but, you know, I do think there's a glimmer of hope. But honestly, with the amount of times he's relapsed and the way that he like told her she was nagging or whatever, I do think there's enough grounds that she could leave him. But I do think there's a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, she seems like she doesn't want to. And yeah, definitely, yeah. Rehab.
Are you having a hard time focusing because I have a random cat?
Cute little kitty, yeah.
Literally off the street.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How long ago was that posted?
That was posted 2 months ago.
2 months ago, man. I would love a update on that.
So someone wrote, "This is Black Mirror. Unreal. Wish you all the best. Prioritizing AI over a wife is something, and it will get way worse when we normalize this shit." So the person said, "I never heard of that before, but I looked it up and see a show on Netflix called it. Definitely sounds like what I'm experienced too. They've never seen Black Mirror. Don't watch that if you're going through this."
Right. Yeah. Yeah, treat it my advice to her is treat it exactly like you would treat being with someone with an addiction.
Sorry, our son just walked in and now he sees the random kid in my hand.
And advice to the guy, treat it as though it is a drug.
Yes, it's definitely an
unhealthy.
addiction.
Yeah, it's just literally substitute AI for a drug and follow all the steps to get sober and refrain from doing it.
OP also said she told him yesterday, I told him yesterday I was done being the only one trying to fix a relationship, and he obviously doesn't care for me or respect me enough to stop lying and doing this shit. I don't know how he would ever truly show real effort through actions at this point either. And then another one, OP said, "Not gonna lie, kind of feels doomed and really does sound disturbing, which is really shattering to me. To love someone deeply and that's all this happens within a matter of weeks is still mind-blowing to me. I guess that's why I'm on here today and the point I'm taking you guys to get perspective. I appreciate the advice." So I think OP's pretty done with it. I don't blame her. Obviously, working with your addictions with all those years, there were so many times I wanted to leave. I didn't, and it paid off. But that is a cute kitten. Now seeing it, oh, you gotta smush her in. There were so many times that I thought about leaving. That's like, I can validate anyone wanting to leave when their partner is in active addiction. But I do think there was potential, but she in no way is obligated to try to help fix him.
Yeah, it's on him.
It's on him.
The action's on him. Like, she's got to set some ground, like some boundaries, and stick to not being the only one fixing it, and like put the ball in his court.
Yeah,
it's all on him.
All right.
If he's really willing to change.
Well,
no.
We are now getting called to handle some real life.
Yep, it looks
stuff.
like 5 bowls of food tonight for the for the little ones.
Yeah, 6 counting Sophie. 5 cats.
Oh yeah, 6 bowls. Good God.
Too many mouths to feed. Yeah, guys, if you have any ideas for future Reddit episodes, please drop them in the comments. If you enjoyed this episode, thank you so much for giving us a like and a 5-star review. Please be safe with AI. Very tricky. It's a new thing in our society, so we got to be careful with it. I was planning on having a lot more discourse, but Kitten has called, so...
Yes, and we would love to hear any stories that you've either experienced or have heard of, or, yeah, please. post your AI stories in the comments, and maybe we'll do a part 2 to this because I feel like this is going to be an ongoing subject for the
we
collective.
kind of got thrown through a loop. We know that I had the deadline for this episode to be posted. Like we are recording earlier this week to what you guys are witnessing. So like, you know, I just really wanted to get this episode done, and then now with this these a teenager walked up to our house and had a kitten, and
it's definitely the sibling to the latest kitten we adopted.
Yeah, so
definitely the sibling.
You know, sorry we got thrown through a loop, but you know, this is life, and we're here for it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please stay tuned. New episodes on the 22nd of every month. And don't forget to check out the Realistic Intentionality Guest podcast with new episodes on the 11th of every month. So remember, you deserve to create the life that you exist for. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.